This podcast is intended for passionate wrestling fans and may contain strong language, spoilers, and unfiltered opinions. We'll be talking storylines, swerves, and possibly burying your favorite wrestler, all in good fun. If you're easily offended or kayfabe sensitive, consider this your official heel turn warning. Now that you've been warned, let's ring the damn bell.
Welcome back, Wrestling Fandom Podcast listeners. I'm Jesse.
I'm Greg.
Hey, we're sorry we missed you the last couple weeks. We've had some problems. This fool got sick. I ended up in the hospital, and then the next day, this fool ended up in the hospital. So, please bear with us.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, the last couple weeks have been awesome. So,
Fun.
nothing major, nothing serious. Just put too many miles
Getting
on
old.
you. Yeah, put too many miles on these bodies already. That's all it is.
Exactly.
But we want to thank you for tuning in and sticking with us. We apologize. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna say that because, come on, we're not people. We're just like you, wrestling fans. We work.
Hey yo.
We work. You work. Family shit. Sometimes life gets in the way, but we'll always come back. We ain't just abandoning ship. Thank you to the ones that have subscribed. If you're new here, please subscribe, like the video, help us out. But today we got our top 5 most underrated. Now,
It's been a rough week for the underrated. Let's just say that.
Exactly. But before I finish, before we get into it, it's not just a top 5. It's Greg's top 5, my top 5. We're going to discuss them. We might agree. We might disagree. We might agree on somebody. Who knows? It's going to be a good podcast, I think. And it's been a couple crazy weeks, not only for us, but also in wrestling. Let's get the little news portion out of the way. Like, today we had Carlito being released with R-Truth.
Carlitos was kind of hilarious. I'm just gonna say that now. Reading that tweet was.
Yeah, I know.
I've never heard of a company saying you owe us money, and we need it back because we went back and watched what you've been doing on TV, and we feel like you got overpaid.
Well, that's not his fault.
Exactly.
That's not his fault. That's your fault for not knowing what the fuck to do with a talent like Carlito. Carlito, honestly, should be on my list, but I didn't think of him earlier. Now I wished I would have.
He's an honorable mention. There you go.
There we go. Because Carlito is definitely an underrated star.
Very much so.
Period.
Very much so.
When he went away for them 13 years before coming back, he got better, and then they didn't do anything with him at all.
No, not a damn thing.
No, they just gave him a retirement plan.
I hope he banked his money. That's all I got to say.
Right.
And I'm sure he was smart about it.
Yeah. I hope
he did
so.
get I will say this. He is now the champion down in Puerto Rico in their #1 promotion. So shout out to Carlito for at least making positive light of something that
I did see that.
pretty negative.
Morning.
So
yeah.
yeah.
I did that, and then the R-Truth was shocking. Everybody,
I don't even know if that's PG.
Sorry, some of the greatest moments ever
in the
history of television with this guy.
Like, R-Truth is a generational talent, and he could literally do anything. The little Jimmy bad guy, Ron Killings in TNA.
Yeah,
that was a
I'll
good
say
heel.
this. He went out with a bang with Friday. I'll say that because the backstage promo was spot on. Asking asking Solo if JC Mateo was his son, and then asking if he could take his son out to the ring and teach him a lesson,
Yeah.
and ending it with, "Damn, y'all big boned." Like it was. I guess that's a good way to send them out.
Yeah, well, honestly, if Saturday night's main event would have been the end of it, would have been a better way. But our
Yeah.
truth is the epitome of a team player. He's down to do whatever it takes.
He
Give him-
outlasted Ziggler, so let's just give him that.
That's true. That's true. Well, maybe not. If we actually want to take a magnifying glass to it, maybe not.
In his position, he knew where he belonged, and he didn't give a shit. He just did what he had to do.
Exactly, and everybody loved him.
Exactly.
You know, man, there's been a lot of releases
just-
this year
It's
already.
weird because they're scattering them out post Mania this year. It's not like they usually do. It's like
Yeah.
just a huge dump.
Yeah. Well, there was, but now, not used to another dump of them.
You're talking about 14th and I?
No, but that's a good segue. So, Vince McMahon has a new company to help with films and entertainment. Well, I seen the press release thing and I skimmed through it because, I mean, I really could care less.
Exactly.
Vince McMahon running
Do you really want to give him the time of day? I mean, how do you get rid of somebody you don't care about? You don't pay attention to him.
Exactly, I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, it already smells like doo-doo, so.
Mm-hmm.
just
Speaking of Vince
gonna leave that
McMahon,
pun there.
speaking of Vince McMahon, there's a narc coming for Vince now.
Bruh.
Yeah, bruh. Bruh. I can't skateboard, but poor Shane Douglas has to carry the team. Johnny Laurinaitis' dumbass is now going to testify against Vince.
That's the most hilarious. I kind of figured it was going to happen, but he was never going to go down with Vince. Let's just put it that way. He was there. He just had to wait for them to be like, "Hey, we want to offer you this to run your big ass mouth." Deal.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty goddamn much. Pretty
If they're
much.
playing deal or no deal, he just took the first offer.
Or the one that was bigger than Vince.
This is true.
Vince is a billionaire. This lady isn't.
She's about to be.
She could be.
We might be next. We might be witnessing the birth of the JWF.
The Janet Wrestling Federation.
Oh Lord. I don't even want to give it the time of day. Honestly, I don't even know how to say it in a respectful way.
There is no. It's Vince McMahon.
Hold on. To quote their infamous letters, I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Yep. Yeah, no. Dude, I could care less. I just thought it was funny. I seen that this week and I was like, well, last week. And I laughed.
Vince woke up and he was just sitting there. He's like,
Damn
well,
it.
only thing I have to say to these people is,
You can tell them. Daddy's back.
and we'll just leave it at that
That-
because until something else comes of it, there's nothing to speak on. There's just a piece of paper with $50 attached to it.
Yeah, that we know of. So allegedly,
Exactly.
who knows?
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Allegedly.
these people. I don't care about these people. I just find that it's funny that they're going through all this. I don't get me wrong. I feel bad for that lady and everything she
Allegedly.
she suffered through. So, or allegedly suffered through. Like,
Allegedly.
but here's something that I seen this past week that absolutely bubbled my blood to hell. And I'm, and I'm laughing because it pisses me the fuck off. All right, Ric Flair and what he had to say about Jim Ross coming out about having prostate cancer.
I'm just going to sit back and let you vent.
Hey, Rick, I know I don't matter. I'm just a, pro wrestling fan, that has been watching wrestling for 35 years. I know I don't matter. You have your own life. I'm just a spectator. I know that. But you, miserable son of a bitch, you're going to go out and say some things about Jim Ross having prostate cancer, about it, he's doing it just for attention and glory. You're the most miserable piece of shit in the world. And sir, you should have died years ago because you have tarnished. This zombie Flair has tarnished the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Don't get me wrong. I understand. Your grieving still reads death. And it's very obvious. And you need to get serious help. And serious help now. Before you end up losing everything. Your buddy Triple H don't even call your ass no more. Shawn Michaels probably don't call your ass no more. The only one who does is Conrad Thompson. And who gives a fuck about Conrad? Wake the fuck up. Before you're dead like so many of your coworkers because you're a fucking grieving and you don't know what to do because you haven't taken care of it. Get help. Quit being so damn miserable. Life goes on. Yeah, it sucks. Nobody should ever bury their children. But unfortunately, sir, some do. I buried both my parents by the time I was 23. We're not supposed to do that until we're older. But guess what? Life goes on. You just need help. As a wrestling fan, get help. Please. Sorry.
We'll be right back. Coming up.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, she did. But it was fucking good. That was fucking good. Oh,
Shucky, ducky,
quack, quack. Definitely. uh,
There was some tension that I felt needed to cut with a knife, and I just happened to have a rusty butter knife sitting in my pocket.
I'm sorry. I just it's Ric Flair,
Bad
man.
thing is I have a rant that competes with that now. That's the fucked up part, and you ain't gonna like it one bit. And it has to go towards one of your idols.
I don't care. I'd probably say the same shit to Bret Hart if he came out and said some shit like that.
Oh no, this is
So
it's a different. Hold on, it's a different subject.
okay,
For
well,
one of your idols on this one.
okay. Well, no,
To whom
hold
it
on.
may concern.
Hold on. No. Let me finish. Just so you understand
Follow me.
because I'm not trying to attack your idol. Not at all, brother.
No, I'm not a Flair idol by means. That dude
Oh,
got
okay.
his autograph at Walmart for $20.
I was
Don't get it twisted.
I'm just it's
He almost ran over my brother when we were 10 years old at WCW in Roanoke, Virginia. By all means, speak your piece, brother.
I just, it's Ric Flair.
But
He's one of the as a
I can't
wrestler.
stand the fucker either way. Either way, he's a sack of bones and a dried up bologna skin.
Yeah. But
But
all right.
I was thumbing through the tubes of you this week, like you do,
Every day.
because I missed the Cornette podcast.
Oh.
And I just happened to come across the clip where he just happens to get an email from a jobber that was on AEW television. And let me speak from someone who has gotten heat for wearing gear that said jobber for hire across the ass and jobber for hire on the back of the vest. Listen here, motherfucker. Some people are proud of the position they're put in. Some people are happy to get that $500 check just for being on TV to wave at mama and daddy every week. Not my fault you can't stand the product. I can't stand half the shit you did back in the day either. But guess what? We still showed up in droves and we still watched your ass every damn week. And I still respect you to this damn day. However, your old ass views and opinions on the current state of professional wrestling are just that. The views of a retired ass, double cheeseburger eating, diet Sprite drinking, old wrinkly bastard sitting in his attic in Louisville, Kentucky. Let your dog lick on your toes a little bit more in the sunshine and quit talking about today's wrestling because you couldn't hold a damn candle to half the motherfuckers in the ring. Because let me tell you something, brother, that scaffold match you did, there's a reason we don't do them anymore because we know it's for fucking dumbasses. We do dumber shit. That's right, because we saw your dumbass jump off a fucking scaffold. So we had to step it up a notch. Now we got dumbasses jumping through barbed wire and light tubes. Can't stand it? Don't fucking tune in, you dumbass. End fucking rant.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Well,
Now I'm waiting for my ears are burning and and I can feel the heat rising up my ass crack. I know my ass is on the grill. Let's hear it, Jesse.
all I gotta say is there's a reason I don't watch current day wrestling.
To each the damn own.
I'll give you that. But
It's just when you tune in, when you just randomly see a clip, and it's an old ass man reading an email from a youngster who's trying to cut his teeth, and he asked, "What could I do better?" And instead of saying privately, "This is what you could do,"
how do you know
you
he didn't?
burn his ass on the fucking podcast.
Hold on.
He even said it. He straight up said it on the podcast. I'm not going to even glorify this tool with a response. This
And
is
then he
what I
went
have
on a
to say
20-minute rant. So he did
Yes, he
give him a
did.
response. So shut up. He did
It
what
wasn't
he
a-
was
it wasn't a
asked.
response. It was a shit on him and pretty much telling him to sit in the locker room and shut the fuck up.
Hey, Greg, how many times have you been told that?
Twice.
I've been told it. Sometimes you need it.
I have some funny backstage stories though.
You know, like, sometimes you need it.
I know it's just
Here's-
sometimes it's just
here-
like no.
Can
What's
I?
The Rock say? Know your role and shut your mouth, just like I do.
Yeah.
I sit here and I talk on a podcast.
That's-
just like he does.
But that's Jim fucking Cornette's role. He's not the guy. Look.
Hold on.
No.
I'm gonna
No.
contradict myself right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Yeah. You
contradict
don't even
myself
fucking
right now.
deserve that, motherfucker. Don't even deserve it. And I'll tell you why. The Messiah.
Go for it.
The Messiah
Go for
is
it.
still doing it. And what I mean by doing it is he brought thousands of people to the fucking Superdome in New Orleans, almost beating goddamn fucking Dog and P.S. Hayes. But they lost. Just with the final stampede. There were like a couple of hundred more people, and it would have beaten that record. You know how? And yet he still is the number one pro wrestling podcast in the world, no matter what anybody says about their podcast.
According to Dave Meltzer.
No, according to the fucking charts, get on Spotify, look at your top podcasts under pro wrestling. It's fucking Jim Cornette. Usually number 1 and number 3. So, get on your fucking Amazon Music. Get on your I don't know these. I only use Amazon Music, so I don't know. Actually, really, YouTube. But you know, like,
This has been an edition of Promo Class with Wrestling Fandom Podcast.
we're kind of making up for the last couple weeks. Sorry. If we have to, we'll split this up in 2 parts, maybe.
We got a lot of
Who knows?
pent-up frustration. Let's just put it that way. We've been through some shit. Been dealing with some shit.
And then
Y'all
we've
have
seen
no
some
clue?
stupid shit in the world of wrestling the last couple of weeks.
And it just been sitting here stewing on a pot. Just, oh, boy. We got a lot to say. And we're supposed to be talking about over or underrated wrestlers. And we're talking about everything that's been pissing us off. Speaking of, we didn't even get to say this. R.I.P. to Sabu. Didn't get to say that one.
Rest in
Rest in
peace,
peace.
good sir.
Yes, sir.
That Sabu, he can, dude.
That was my child. That's the reason I wanted to do hardcore wrestling. It was more so because of the dumb shit he did with the chair.
Yeah.
I was like, I can throw a chair at my brother's face. I could probably do this. I mean, I'm probably not the only one. But
No.
I will say this: that triple jump moonsault or triple jump to the top, yeah, no, that takes some skill.
Yeah,
Nah.
it does. Like,
After you get in the ring and you see that, you're like, how in the hell?
dude, I still remember him at Halloween Havoc 95, watching that on pay-per-view and being like, I'm 5 years old. I'm not connecting. He's the dude on the back cover of PWI for the ECW hotline. Like, I'm not like same parachute pants and not even.
Not dawning on you one bit.
No.
Let's go on a tangent with Sabu here. Can we just talk about his gear for a second? He's the only crazy sumbitch I've ever seen rip his gear thread to thread and still finish the match with his everything hanging out with meat and blood and taking tape from under the ring, wrapping it around his arm to put the meat back in. Like, that's
Sabu.
not a man. That's a damn monster. If you see that, you should walk away. I'm just saying, if I see him just grab tape and wrap his arm around, I'm going to look right at the ref and go, I'm out. That's it for me tonight. I'm going to get my payday and I'm out of here.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
you.
no.
That wasn't Terry Funk though. Terry Funk was like, "Bring it on."
Yeah, and then he got blasted in the head. Oh god. Oh, those two went. Oh, poor Terry.
Oh yeah, that barbed wire match was crazy.
Yeah.
They had to cut those two out.
And I'm just gonna say, out of respect and out of everything else, we're not gonna touch his final match because everything's been said that can be
No.
said on that. It, it is what it is.
I didn't see
Don't,
it.
don't.
I really can't. So
I watched it, but I'm not gonna speak on it because everybody who is anybody has already spoke on it. Pieces have been said. There's nothing that can be said.
right.
But in respect of for the man, the myth, the legend, I really, really, really hope that he got some peace out of this.
I'm
That's
sure
all I
he
can say.
did.
That man, he tore his body up for everybody.
Yes.
Like,
See,
when you say you shed blood, sweat, and tears, there's levels to it. And Sabu is at the top.
abs- absolutely. Absolutely. From head to toe, scarred up like that just for the business.
If you measured his
Like,
scars inch by inch, I guarantee it, it's miles and miles of just scars from flesh left on continents and bars.
yep.
He wrestled everywhere he could. And that's something that I think that talents these days should really take a lesson from. Like, it doesn't matter what you do or how you do, just make sure they remember your name. Leave the legacy.
Yep. Because that's how Sabu became what we know as Sabu now. The legacy of Sabu, I should say.
Exactly. The legend.
Yeah. Because, us hardcore wrestling fans, that have watched everything since we were little and stuff, we knew who Sabu was, but a lot of people didn't know who Sabu was until WWE brought him in for the ECW stuff.
Yep.
And
Jumped off the letters and almost killed himself.
no, I mean, because there's still, as much as I love the new generation, that was
Yep.
still the new generation era. And a lot of people weren't really watching.
Yeah.
Some of us were, but not a lot.
I got lucky to
So-
see him during the relaunch of ECW. I got to watch him face Roadkill in person. That was awesome. That's like the only match of Sabu's I ever got to see in person, but I'll take it.
Heck yeah. Lucky I never did, so.
I know I was telling you the other day I got to go watch it on YouTube the other day. I was like, I forgot all about this match. But yeah, R.I.P. to Sabu.
Absolutely.
Paradise. The list continues to grow this year. Let's just put it that way.
It does. It does. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of life, but it sucks. Every year it's like, man, so much of our childhood is gone.
Hey, we still got Ninja Turtles. Different tangent for a different day.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
The wrong style of comic books. We're talking about real life comic book heroes.
Yeah, it's been one of those whirlwinds 2 weeks. Heck, there was an injury last night at Revolver. I believe I sent you this clip. I'm not sure.
No, but I seen it. I'm sorry, guys.
How do you knock your valet out while almost killing yourself? That's my question.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
She got knocked out cold, stiff, arm out, everything. Like, he hit her hard on the way down. Like, he was swinging his arm to try and correct.
Yeah.
And I think he might have accidentally clocked her.
It was,
Yeah.
damn.
But
yeah.
speedy recovery, man. Quit doing those dumb spots. I know it doesn't mean nothing come from a fat boy sitting behind a computer. But is it worth sitting at home for the next 6 months out of work? Probably not. Just saying. We already got enough high risk that happen in that ring. You don't need to add to it. That crowd's gonna pop either way.
Exactly.
Smarter, not harder.
See, and that right there is kind of my gripe with pro wrestling now. That's where me and Jim Cornette really agree.
I understand that part. The
Like-
dumb spots, that's one thing. I mean, the deathmatch stuff, there's ways to do it safely. There's accidents that are going to happen. I get it. It has its spot in whatever territory. Every place has its own demographics. Everybody's got their different takes.
I'm going to leave my take on deathmatch alone until we do a deathmatch show.
Hey, that was my retirement, so we'll leave it at that. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
So, but the leave the high risk spots alone, guys. Just bring it down a notch.
Man, go home to your families, because
Yeah,
this is a job, man. Like, yeah, it's your dream, but you still got,
you got
Still-
bills to pay.
exactly. And if you're crippled, Social Security don't cover much. Disability.
And
You
the
know?
L&I doesn't exist in pro wrestling.
Nope.
Just saying,
Just be safe.
not yet.
Entertain the crowds like you guys want it, but just be careful, because there's been a lot of injuries, not even just in indies lately, but
Yeah.
WWE, AEW, like some
Oh.
scary bumps.
Yeah.
Like, I seen the clip of
It's-
Gable getting
Oh,
pretty
boy.
much spiked on his head, and that was pretty scary.
Zoe Stark's injury.
Yep.
Oh, that hurt my knee.
Like,
Oh man. I think Javon got hurt the other night during his debut as well. He was grabbing the right ankle, came down hard, and slapped it on the mat.
oof.
Yeah, been there.
Yep.
There's just a lot
Yeah.
between releases, injuries, everything in between. It's like, what the hell's gonna happen?
I know what's gonna happen. TKO moves WrestleMania. What? Wait, what?
It wasn't April Fool's Day, so it was real for once.
Mm-hmm. How much
But
money?
here's the question: what was that sound you were doing the other day when we were at work? Because people like to get stuff without other people knowing.
Well, we're on YouTube. I'm not gonna make that noise. We might get kicked out.
You can only imagine what I'm
But-
talking about. Anyways, it requires some under the table Oval Office service.
Or as I like to call it, the Monica Lewinsky.
For those of you that don't know who Monica Lewinsky is, I suggest
You have the internet. Look it up. It is
I said
2025.
encyclopedia. I said encyclopedia.
They don't make encyclopedias. They will tell them to go to Wikipedia. Shut up. It's 2025. Google it, children.
I'm old.
Learn the 90s and how awesome they were.
However, I can understand it considering if they do decide to go with the route of Vegas of the Lost, not lost, lost. It is a great decision considering they would be doing the same thing they're doing in Saudi because it's a very high temperature area. So you can almost guarantee weather's going to be decent. You can plan for outside if you need be. And there's a new ballpark being built right now because the Athletics are moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
So with having Allegiant Stadium being top of the game for football stadiums, closed roof, and then the new baseball stadium, they really don't need to go anywhere. Plus, they have the T-Mobile. If they wanted to plant roots and have a residency, by all means, they're set because you're almost guaranteed foot traffic.
Yeah, all year round of some
Exactly.
sort.
So, what if TKO played it right? And I know this is gonna piss a lot of fans off, but if they played it right, having everything set up in Vegas would be the smartest business move they could make.
Kind of like UFC with their little one off out,
Yeah,
but most of it's
because
in Vegas.
yeah, and they do International Fight Week, which is coming up here in a couple weeks down in Vegas. I got to go down there during the July 4th weekend, and I'm going to tell you, it was just the same as being there for StarCast and AEW, just with fight fans. It was insane. So if they play their cards right with UFC owning TKO as well, or UFC being part of TKO as well,
I was gonna say.
it would be the smartest move to move everything to a central hub. Sell off all that property in Stamford, Connecticut. Let 14th and I buy all of their stuff. Sell it to him for outrageous prices so he goes bankrupt. And move everything down to the warmest city in the U.S. I think it's smart.
Well, we'll see
And
what happens.
and it's only an hour and a half flight from us, so I'll be happy with that as well.
I give you that, but you know, I couldn't afford a ticket even now if they came to town.
Neither can I, but I'm still gonna sit here and say thank you for doing it.
I'll thank the boys. I'm not gonna thank WWE, especially when they walk in. That's the reason why they don't come here, and they probably never will again. And I'm very thankful I got to take my child to the very last one that WWE will ever be in Spokane.
Hey, if you want to
I
buy
put
Cody
money
Rhodes,
on it.
will you be my best man sign? You can give me $3,000 and I can get it for
No, I'm good.
you. Still for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
I am good, but I almost
But
guarantee.
yeah. By the way, before we get into our actual topic here, I'm gonna say shout out to our brothers over at Reactivate Professional Wrestling on a kick-ass show this week. Got
Yes.
done watching it before we started recording tonight. Great show. Thanks for the shout outs. We appreciate it. WrestleVerse is working on advertising all professional wrestling gigs. Anybody that needs help, feel free to hit us up. We'll take care of you. WrestleVerse ad agency at gmail.com or visit us online at wrestlead.com. Also, Jesse, hit them where it hurts with your links as well.
Thank you, Graggers. Just released a Spokane collection on my t-shirt store, thetstop.net. There's we're working on some new designs to go up there. There's plenty of designs up there already. Please check it out. Feel free to get a shirt. Just remember this is all on demand, so when you order it, it gets printed and shipped to you. So, you know, also help us out on the T-Stop website is the Wrestling Fandom merch store with our shirts. Probably going to add some coffee cups and, you know, some smaller stuff as well. But, you know, we got the shirts up there. A few different designs for you to choose from. Please help us out. You know, we ain't trying to quit our jobs, but we just want to try and upgrade our equipment and keep going. I mean, we're going to keep going, but keep going and
With
better.
your help, we can go further fast.
There you go. And we appreciate
Yeah.
y'all, If not, hey, just give us a share on Facebook. Give us a like here on YouTube. Give us a rating on Spotify or wherever you listen. We'd appreciate
Don't review
it.
us on Yelp, please. Don't review us on Yelp.
They have podcast reviews on Yelp.
We're not going to talk about it. I just found out about this. Yeah.
I could care.
Yeah.
I could care less, but
However, you can leave a Google review for the wrestlehead.com. I will appreciate that.
or the tstop.net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I want to start you off, Jesse. I've already ran my mouth a little bit, and you've ran your mouth a little bit. So I'm gonna hit you with Tell the World. It doesn't matter what order you put it in: top, bottom, left, right, horizontal, around in a circle. Who's on your list? Start us off.
All right. The first one on my list, and this one a little bit close to home because, well, not close to home, but you know who my favorite family in the wrestling business, who my favorite pro wrestler is, you know.
I was going to be a smartass, but I'm not going to. Brett
Go.
and Jim.
No, they're not underrated.
I beg to differ. You
Davy
want to go
Boy.
Jim and Owen?
Davy Boy.
Okay.
Everybody always gives all this praise to Dynamite. And don't get me wrong, if Dynamite didn't screw up his back and he wasn't a little testosterone pit bull, but then again, that's also what made him Dynamite. But everybody, still to this day, Dynamite. Ah, yeah, Davey was okay, but Dynamite, you know? I agree, but Davey was one of the best English wrestlers of all time. Like,
Give you that.
not comparing him to William Regal at all.
It
At
wasn't
all.
even there.
It wasn't even me, it was Owen. You know, like, like his match with, now granted, Bret Hart called the match, but his match, SummerSlam 92. Their match at December in Your House 95. Like,
Indie wrestlers these days could take some lessons. If you just go back and practice that 1,000 times, get it cookie cuttered into your head, I bet you'll be selling places out beautifully. I love that match. I'm sorry, that was one of my favorites.
no, dude, it's one of the greatest matches of all time. And it's
That
probably
one and
Davey
Brett and
Boy.
Owen.
Well,
Like those two matches, like I could
which
watch
one?
10.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That one was a classic.
yeah, no. To start my list, it's Davey Boy Smith. I've always thought, out of everybody in the Hart family, he was the one. I mean, you could say Jim, but
Jim did a lot.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I could see Davey Boy being world champion. Maybe not in the WWF.
He should have
But
been in WWE.
he should have I was gonna say he should have beaten Vader.
Yes.
And had a little run. Like,
Yes.
it wouldn't have hurt Vader in
Not one bit.
'93. It wouldn't have hurt Vader a dang bit.
It wasn't his eye. It wasn't going to hurt him.
No. Like, that's
Yeah. Davey Boy was definitely one that was undercut.
exactly. I mean, talk about the Hart family. Everybody talks about Jim Neidhart, Bret Hart, and Owen Hart.
Yeah.
And then Davey.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why I was like, nah, Davey.
Davey gone too damn soon.
Oh, way too damn soon. But
Put him in his prime now. Shit.
oh yeah, he would be a megastar. Especially with his
I think he'd still be thriving in NWA to this day.
yeah, with his boy.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that is very
Yeah,
possible.
Harry Smith. Harry Smith is the man. Met
Yes,
him a
he
couple
is.
times, and he is freaking awesome. Great dude to talk to. Full of advice. Yeah, awesome. Another one that's unmentionable, honorable mention.
Yep, his son.
Yeah,
See, like
one of the greatest athletes out there, still active to this day.
I,
Great physique, great mind, everything.
and no offense to Tyson Kidd, but I preferred Davey.
I was there the night they won the tag titles the first time.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, when Brett showed up, that was
Okay, with the penny
awesome.
titles.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was draft night because everybody got stuck over in during the volcano thing in Iceland. So everybody was stuck
Okay, yeah.
overseas. So we got the all-star cast for the draft night. So instead of having the nobodies, we got everybody.
Yeah.
So it was pretty nice. Plus we got Brett too, which it shocked everybody. So I mean that was awesome. Don't you pat me on the back, fucker.
No, I'm fighting with my daughter's cat.
Oh. Guest appearance.
Yeah. That'd be Ernie.
Bert and Ernie.
Yep.
But no, let's see. If
Who's
you want
yours?
one of my, let's see, off the rail, I guess you'd say, because not a lot of people talk about him anymore because he's been gone for so long. Steve Blackman, the Lethal Weapon. Laugh at me if you want. I don't care.
Absolutely not, good sir. I was gonna say, have you seen his Calgary stuff?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Never got a. I honestly think that they used him in the worst way possible.
Well, do you know that he was actually gonna come in the early '90s, but he got like terminally ill.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Like.
Sorry, I'm laughing at you. I never watched you fight a damn. It looks like a invisible person because it blends with.
I know.
Stuff.
Looks like I'm trying to shove you.
Steve Blackman was one of the reasons that I tuned like in on his stuff. Like the way he used actual martial arts on all of his stuff. I wouldn't want to be hit by him. Like I actually thought he was killing these dudes.
Especially with his sticks? Absolutely not.
No.
That little
knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. No,
yeah. That's pretty much what it was. Dude, I remember trying to do that on trees at like 8 years old.
Hit your fingers.
Yeah.
Trying to go so fast you bang your fingers between. Yeah, no. And then I will say this: I wish they would bring it back because of him, just to give him a little bit of a nod. Lion's Den.
Yeah, but Lion's Den was really just a rip off of it made a smaller, their own octagon.
But it would be, instead of doing the way they did the underground bullshit like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use the Lion's Den. I know it's in the warehouse. Like, use it.
That is true.
If you got it, use it.
Well, okay. But with that being said, we've been asking, where's the SmackDown fist for 20 years?
We get a piece of it every couple years.
Where's the SmackDown fist?
It's a digital fist now. I laughed so hard when everybody was complaining online about wanting the fist when they did the whole revamp.
Yeah.
And then they give us LED screens and they put a fist on the LED screen just to rib everybody. I was like, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I get it. I got to see the fist live, so
I did a few times.
With pyro, so that was awesome.
Yep. Every time, actually.
If you don't get to see entrances with pyro, what's the point?
Well, back then in the early 2000s, that like Kurt Angle's pyro. If you didn't see Kurt Angle's boom, doo 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 boom, you know.
Like the opening pyro for Superstars will by far succeed anybody else's pyro I've ever seen live.
Nope. Velocity. The opening to Velocity. With the lasers, with the fucking like Nitro had where they came down from the ceiling, and then they had the fucking doof 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 boom.
Yeah, that one was good.
Ah, good old Saturday night cruiserweight WWE show.
I got to be a part of one Velocity tape. And I got to see a homie of mine that I got to share the ring with later on in life on that show. And it was awesome. And I got to see him a few years later wrestle Zack Ryder on Superstars in the same building. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, amazing how small the world is. Indie wrestling is amazing. Let's just say that. It used to be. Now it's just, hey, if you need graphics for your mud show coming up, hit me up at WrestleEd.com. $40, get you started today.
Are you done with your first one, or?
Yeah. 'Cause I don't want to go down the tangent of stop releasing people that are deserving. Sorry.
Well, I'm sure we'll get there if it's the same list I seen earlier.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You're up.
Perry Saturn.
Moppy!
Oh, I'm talking before Moppy.
I don't care.
I
Moppy is
know.
my favorite.
I know.
I had a Moppy as a kid.
Like, Perry Saturn in ECW?
Oh, yeah.
Dude. That. And I've seen a few indie matches of him before he got to ECW. Like.
Yeah, you talking about White Horse Saturn?
I don't.
Think about it. The White Horse Saturn.
I don't know.
Sorry, ECW. I will never bring up an ECW story without calling it the White Horse Stables.
Well,
Just saying.
Or Acid Land. Here, lizard.
We gotta watch that match one night.
We shall.
Saturn and ECW, a lot of the guys in ECW.
Oh yeah.
I have one on my list.
Goes
right along with.
I have two more.
I have one that goes right along with the same era, but speaking of Perry Saturn, technical wise, he had it all. I will say that. The quickness, the what we call the snap, he had it, like something you can't really teach.
Oh yeah.
It's just there.
There was something about Perry Saturn that grabbed my attention when I first seen him in WCW, because that's how I was first introduced to him, and watching throughout the years, all the different stuff thanks to YouTube and all the wonderful people on YouTube throughout the years. Unfortunately, they get their channels cut down. But thank you for giving me even more wrestling to watch. I appreciate it very much so.
I'll say shout out to Frank's Video back in Pulaski, Virginia, when they were open for hooking us up with the VHS tapes.
Oh, well then, dude, I could be here all day. Hastings, Videoland, Hollywood Video.
If we actually sat here and think all the video stores we actually went through, we'd probably bring them back to business.
No, we couldn't, because nobody wants to rent. They all want to sit up. That's why the cinema's in garbage shape.
Yeah. But let's see. With Perry, I would say if you would have gave him 6 months in WCW, I'd say mid 97 with a strong run, with a decent push, he would have been a top contender, at least for the United States.
Can I your bubble for a second. They did.
Shut up, Jesse. Not 97.
Yes, they did. He was the television champion.
I didn't say television.
Doesn't matter.
I said higher up.
It doesn't matter. It's still a push.
WCW
But
was cock block.
exactly.
WCW was a cock block anything past the heavyweight because of the bookers.
Yeah, exactly. Or the U.S.
That was the click belt.
Yeah, those were the two click belts. After
And then the Goldberg belt.
Yeah, but after Goldberg,
Before that, I will say this: Bill DeMott, Hugh Morris, honorable mention
for being a piece of shit.
I'm talking about back in the day before we knew he was a piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
Before,
the Chris Benoit rule. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Before.
The Chris Benoit rule. We'll leave it in.
You motherfucker.
Anything like that. If you hate a person now, but you respected what they did before.
Exactly.
It's the Chris Benoit rule.
Listen. There are tons of pieces of shit that we know nowadays. Okay. However.
But you still like Michael Jackson. Sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. They don't keep saying the same thing about you for 30 years and it not be true.
We'll be right back.
Coming up. Sometimes. I'm glad we're not on public TV or anything like that. Cause
hell no, baby. We on the internet.
Pew 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 pew.
I don't wear a white hat. I am a little bit of an asshole. Sorry.
No, you wear a beanie.
I used to. For years.
Oh, and a sling.
Yeah, leave me alone. I'm going to slap you with my left hand when it works again, asshole.
Jesse is now known as the one-winged angel at work.
Yeah, you wait.
I'm going to start calling him Cowboy Bob Orton. He's going to start showing up with a sling on every 6 weeks. Sorry, that was a good one, and you know it was.
Every 6 weeks? What the fuck are you talking about?
Bob Orton would show up.
Okay, now I was going to say, because I haven't been there 6 weeks. That's why I'm like.
No, but now you're going to be like, wait a second. It's getting rough out here. How many weeks has it been? They'll never know.
Next
Give
time
him a fucking sling.
I'll just put a cast on it.
A cast starts smelling. And,
yeah, I'll rock a cast for 6 months.
Oh god, but nah. Let's see. You want to stay in the ECW or ECW locker room?
No,
Mikey motherfucking Whipwreck.
Oh yes, little Mikey,
the greatest damn jobber that ever existed. It got his calling and comeuppance because he showed up, set up, and shut up. But never got his day in the sun. Didn't have the build.
He
didn't have the body.
No.
But he was a worker.
Yeah. Former ECW champion, television Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
Him and Tajiri as a tag team?
Yeah. Oh, I just watched the ECW reunion the other day with those guys. Awesome. Tajiri's last match.
Yeah.
Or supposed to be last match.
One night stand.
But yeah, it was... I love Mikey. I always wanted the pants with the green flames going up the bottom of them. To be honest with you, I probably have the design on my computer somewhere for where I was trying to order them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he And then you had the Hawaiian shirts, the Walmart freaking $12 button down with
Screw
the
that.
weird designs on
Screw
them.
that. I like the white tights with the shorts, black shorts, and the liquid
Okay.
blue dragon shirt.
Okay, I'll give you that one. He had some good gear,
Yeah.
and fans loved him. But
Mike, Mikey was
wouldn't
a very how do I say cult favorite.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
he's the Boondock
Saints of ECW. There you go.
That's a T-shirt design if I've ever heard of it.
Right? The Boondock Saints of ECW. Mikey Whipwreck.
With Tajiri, Mikey Whipwreck, and then
And
Sinister
Sinister
Minister's
Minister.
the
Yeah.
dad. But yeah, ECW had a very strong part in my heart because it was literally 7-hour drive from home, but we never got to go. They came to the Roanoke Civic Center when I was like 11, and there was no way in hell my parents were going to let me. Well, not my parents, my grandparents were going to let us go to that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So I got to see Just Incredible, Rhino, and a couple other ECW originals at a house show a few years later after they all disbanded out of ECW, did the whole alliance thing.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
Well, no, we'll eventually get into that. But
What about Danny Doring?
dude, I love Danny Dorian and Roadkill.
Like I got to see both of those guys.
As I called Danny
And-
Dorian, the ECW Bret Hart.
Right. That never deserved it.
Yeah. But never got a fair shake.
No, never got time in the sun to have some fun.
Nope. And poor Roadkill, he got very messed up at a show. WWE ECW show, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Ended his career.
Yep.
But speaking
That
of
rebrand,
which,
that rebrand was not the greatest.
no. The minute the zombie walked out, I was like,
Shut
this
up!
is
Shut
dead.
the. I had
This
to
is
sit
dead.
through. I had to sit through Big Dick Johnson and Sandman during that era.
Yeah.
You remember Big Dick Johnson?
Yes, I do.
For those of you at home that don't remember this fat son of a bitch, ding! Yeah, that ugly son of a bitch. Oh, thank God for Sandman and a kendo stick. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Shout out to Sandman for inspiring the Kendo King later on in life.
But all right.
That's not. Hold on. Your ass. Hold on. I'm a vent something because I found out this the other day because I was watching clips. You hijacked a family from WCW. You asshole. I know it now. I caught you. I caught you. I caught you. I caught where you got it from, and now I know. I got you in my crosshairs, Jesse. I know where it came from. I already talked to your tag team partner about this. He confirmed it. Because he said
Wrong.
the same shit. He said the
Wrong.
same shit. He's like, WCW, Saturday night. I was watching it, and I was like, holy shit. Jesse got the name of the first family from a tag team in WCW.
Nope.
I'm watching you, Jesse.
Memphis.
Close enough. Down
Not
south.
even. Not even. I have no problem admitting it. Jimmy Hart's first family in Memphis.
I get you. No, I had to bring it up. I'm sorry. It was just one of those things I've always wanted to just mess with you about because I've heard it from
Yeah.
Jay, and I was
Yeah,
like,
no.
I got to bring it up when it's just right, just to fuck with you about it.
Yeah, no. That's fine. But no. It was Jimmy Hart. It was Jimmy Hart's first family, but not WCW. It was Memphis.
Okay. Close enough.
Because I was watching a lot of Memphis at that time. A lot of Memphis.
Hey, we all get inspired from somewhere.
Exactly.
All of my gimmicks came from different places, so I can't say anything.
Everyone in the wrestling business steals from each other. That's
Yeah,
why,
hell.
but that's also why certain people can only still get away with doing things. Like Jake Roberts is the only person that could get away with DDT and somebody and it being a finish.
Apparently, I'm only good at taking your damn finisher because every place that I've ever performed at, the same finisher got done on me every single night. And I got to look at the lights.
I did that a lot.
Old buzz killer.
Yeah, the air raid siren, the buzz killer, the what is it, the white noise?
Yeah, it's a scary move, I'll tell you that much.
I don't know.
When you're up there,
Well, no, I have taken it.
When you're up here and you're looking up at the guy's nose, and you're like, "Well, oh shit, how did I get here?" And then next thing you know, you're waking up with the referee going, "You lost."
You lost.
You're like, how did I go from here to here?
And waking up, then you had
Exactly.
then you worked with somebody who wasn't safe with you.
I can't say that. These guys, okay, one person, one, and you know who I'm talking about. One person.
Yeah, and I'm sure he would be proud to say it too.
He is very proud. I can't say that. It's good on my part.
No,
Can't change
no. But
no.
but all right, sticking with the ECW motif, another very underrated guy, one of the best big men of all time, in my personal opinion. And I'm putting him up there with Vader and Bam Bam in my book.
911?
Absolutely not. Dude only knew a choke slam.
It was the greatest choke slam in the world, brother.
I can't do it. Mr. Meanie. There. The blue meanie. I thought...
I'm going to send you the clip, and you're going to throw it in right here.
Yes, you did. But the blue meanie, I always thought he was a very underrated talent.
Yes, very.
I thought he could do a lot more than what he did, especially when he lost all his weight in the early 2000s.
I love listening to him
Late
talk
90s.
about wrestling.
Oh, yes. It's one of my weekly listens.
His work rate, like everybody shit on him because, the BWO, the knockoff, whatever. But can you knock his workmanship?
No.
Can you knock his knowledge, his psychology?
No.
No, you cannot.
The only thing you can knock him for is Jasmine St. Clair. Other than that, you can't knock that, man. No, you cannot.
JBL tried.
And Stevie Richards gave it back to him.
Exactly.
But no.
Beanie is one of those people that wasn't a body guy, so he didn't get. I think that's why he didn't get his shot.
Of course, and he wasn't as big as Vader or Bam Bam, or agile as Bam Bam.
Yeah, he's in. Well, I won't say he wasn't agile.
Well, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Blue Meanie is agile. That's why he's on my underrated list. But he wasn't doing cartwheels and, all the stuff Bam Bam was.
Give him the opportunity, I'm sure he could have.
Sure he could have.
But you don't bite off other people's shit. That's a rule.
Well, especially at that time.
Big time.
Yeah. But,
Fucking time.
the Blue Meanie, dude, him and Nova, great tag team in ECW. Him on his own,
Yes.
great worker.
Simon Dean.
Oh, God. But, like, the Blue Meanie was a great worker. He had timing, to me, he always drew me in. His character, he knew his character. He knew his place in the show, wherever it was.
Yeah.
He grabbed it by the throat and took the ball and ran. And he never
Make the
gets
most of
his
what you got.
exactly, and he never gets his flowers, ever.
Nope.
And it sucks because,
But he does get his blue beer.
it just it sucks when a guy that athletic for his size, the ability to do whatever's being asked of him and make it truly work. Blue Dust worked ECW and in WWF. Like, sorry, I couldn't pull off a fucking parody of Gold Dust. You couldn't.
Or Bret Hart.
Shut up. But, like, granted, at the time, Vader and Bam Bam were still around. But it just sucks he never got his due, and when he got his due, it was, what, a year? If a year in the WWF? And his only real program was with Goldust?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Dustin Rhodes is the shit. But,
Yeah.
like, and then after that, nothing. Just sad.
Let's talk about the luchadors in the locker room.
All right.
Talk about super crazy. One of the greatest damn luchadors to still fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still out there
Like,
making towns.
Still out there. Yeah, exactly. Still making towns every damn week. Why is he the one that didn't get a shot? Hoovy got a shot.
Well, he did get a shot. He was the only one that lasted in the WWE out of the
He
three.
was, but was underutilized, in my opinion.
Yes. I mean, I did just see a clip of him taking out a group of guys in like a 5-way with Randy Orton, and it was like a intercontinental ladder match. And
Yeah.
I never remembered Super Crazy being in an intercontinental championship match at all.
Exactly.
Like,
But yeah, that one is the one that pops up.
because it was the only one.
Exactly. Should have gotten way more.
Yeah.
Way fucking more. And the fact that Logan Paul shit on him pissed me off to no end. Sorry, Super Crazy's been doing that move for years and years and years.
Yeah. He was coming to your town in Ohio, little boy, and doing it.
Exactly. So keep trying to bite off people's shit, just like he bit off a buckshot lariat, forearm. Well, I can go on and on and on and on. But yeah, Super Crazy is on my list because I believe he deserved way more than what he got, and still deserves way more than what he's getting to this day.
Yeah, kind of like, I kind of put him in, that they made it, but they didn't make it. Like they and what I mean by that is like Sabu. He put his body on the line for all them years, and he should have made all the millions of dollars for what he could do in that ring.
Yeah.
But never did. But should have. And I'll put Super Crazy in that category. Absolutely. No offense to Rey Mysterio, but Super Crazy is on the level with Rey to me.
So people are gonna hate me for this one. Rey Mysterio, I think, is too fragile to be that in that position.
Now, yes. Definitely now.
I think he has been his whole damn career since he signed.
No. But I do
His
get
only
your
healthy
point.
streak is when they don't book him.
Or when they put the
It's
world
fucking
title on
true.
him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he doesn't
if they wanna
wrestle.
get-
They don't
Exactly.
let him wrestle until he loses it.
Exactly, because he's gonna get hurt.
No?
It sucks to say because I love Ray. Always love Ray, but since he's signed, he's been cursed.
It definitely seems like that.
Knee surgery after damn knee surgery. It's like he signed his life over to the E, and they took a part of him, literally.
Yeah, but he was also doing all that crazy stuff in Mexico when he really shouldn't have been.
True.
And then going to WCW, and it's kind of the same thing in WCW. I know he had a couple knee injuries in WCW. You know. But
Here's an honorable mention: Vampiro.
in the States, yes.
Yes.
And if you okay, since you brought up within the United States, I got one for the United States, and it's on my list too.
Go for it.
It's a woman. Probably
I didn't even go that route.
probably my favorite Joshi wrestler of all time. Akira Hokuto. The first WCW women's champion.
Wait, that's not the one that's on my list, is it? Or from that show I showed you, is it?
No.
The one that you gave me shit about?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thought that was the one that was on the show with Bull that I showed you.
No. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not
No.
familiar with a lot. That was when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But do explain.
Just she was a badass. And Greg, you've known me for all these years now. You know my love for Bull Nakano and how much of a badass she is. And but right above her is Akira Hokuto, and it's one of those things that it was the it factor. There's just that little bit of extra to her that makes her overshine Bull Nakano to me. Don't get me wrong, I love Daja Kong, Moya. I could see her face paint, and I could see her. I can't think of her name. You know what? I'll just put her face picture right there, and her name down there. But Joshi wrestling in the early 90s, All Japan, everybody's talking about Stardom, and that's a pedo ring, first off. Okay. But, well, technically all women's wrestling in Japan,
Hey,
they're young.
I don't want the Yakuza coming after me. So the views that he's talking about right now are his and his alone. just gonna say that now. Do not come after me. I love
We're
you
not-
guys.
We're
I
not
have nothing
talking
bad to
about
say.
New Japan.
I don't give a shit.
I wonder why
I
they're.
don't care.
I wonder why New Japan guys were in the game Akuza. But no, like
I want to be ninja.
that's fucked up but funny. But no, if you've never seen, we've already talked about Ray and Super Crazy. You're a little late.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. It's an accident.
Ole. But no, she was just a badass worker. Great matches. I don't think I've ever once seen a bad match of Akira Hokuto's. And I've watched a lot of Akira Hokuto matches. There was a couple years there
Can we
where
get a count on how many times you have correctly said that damn name without fucking it up?
probably none. Because I'm American. So we're just gonna say that right now, okay? But I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've heard it enough in watching wrestling to hear it. But also, once again, WCW announcer saying her name. But Akira Hokuto, like, she married Kenzu Sasaki. He was a badass. I remember when he came in when they were doing the New Japan invasion.
Is that the cousin of Yamaha or Kawasaki?
I don't know, but that big man would have beat your ass. There's a reason why he's the third warrior.
Sorry, I had to.
Well, let me just say, because obviously you're not familiar with Kenzu Sasaki, but there's a reason why he was the third official road warrior.
Okay.
So, okay, well, Hawk official until years later.
Hakatua?
No, that dumb bitch is down by the train stop asking for a quarter.
Jesus Christ.
A Hakatua for a quarter? Please. You picked a bad recording of that.
I didn't do it. It is on the attempt. I blame the computer and the computer only.
Okay.
You gotta give him that hot and spit on that thing.
There you go. Some actually knew how to use the recording software.
Yeah.
Different kind of Legion of Doom there, sir.
But yes.
Different kind of hawk.
But yes, if you've never seen All Japan women's wrestling, please do yourself a favor. Awesome ass matches. Tokyo Dome shows in the early 90s for these ladies. Like, they were packing asses in seats. And look at the 70s. Look at the 80s. Like, these girls were badasses. Dump Diamoto, Bon Nakano, Aja Kong, Akira Hokuto, Terry Power was in it, Medusa, Reggie Bennett. Okay, fine, I'll stop. I'm nerding out. I'm sorry. Okay. Screw Stardom. Screw Stardom. Watch All Japan Women's. Okay, go ahead, Greg. Who's your fourth?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You just went down a big ass list. Is it my turn?
Yeah, shut up.
My bad. I mean, Johnny B. Bad, a.k.a. Mark motherfucking Marrow. I was a huge Johnny B. Bad fan. Very, very huge Johnny B. Bad fan. Early 90s.
I was
When he was in
definitely Johnny.
WWF.
Well, See, but that's the thing. Unfortunately, with Mark is great, great worker, great human being. Love what he's out there doing, talking to these kids in schools, trying to keep them positive. I absolutely love that. Um, but the thing is with him, he was he was taught how to be Johnny B. Bad, and after 5 years, instead of him coming to figure out what Johnny B. Bad was or who he is, so he knew how to figure out a character.
Yeah.
He was pretty much snake bit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because, and that sucks, because I would have loved to have seen what Vince would have done with a Johnny B. Bad kind of character.
Yeah, the whole boxing character and the misogynistic bullshit he did with Sable was just not my cup of
Well, no, and then the Wild Man was just what, like Bruce Pritchard said on his podcast. What the hell's a Wild Man? Like, what is it? Like,
Just like a Z-Man. What the fuck's a Z-Man?
that's Tom Zink, baby.
No, that's Randy Zellers. Get it right. If you don't know, look him up.
Taekwon, bro.
That's my ninja. Exactly.
Love you, brother.
That's my ninja.
Uh,
Yeah, Mark Marrow, Johnny B. Bad. Oh, wow, man. Whatever you want to call him, whatever you know him by. Definitely an underrated worker. Was put in bad spots.
oh,
but
yeah.
I'll say later on in life has done an amazing job with what he's done outside the ring. So
Absolutely.
he's on my list just because I believe that he never got his shot. And when you asked me to name my underrated, that was actually the first name that came to my list.
Hey, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I watched him and Steve Austin at Slamboree 94 just the other night. So,
See? I got like 20 different Johnny B. Bad cards right now.
like, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever opened the amount of WCW pay-per-views as Johnny B. Bad has. I should actually look that up.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
report back on that on next week's. But yeah, I don't think anybody has had the number of opening matches on a WCW pay-per-view as Johnny B. Bad.
I think you're right. Sorry, I keep talking.
No,
I know
I'm
who's
just
on. I know who my last one is on my list.
okay. I'll go. So,
Okay.
and this one's actually a recent one. It's a tag team.
Probably the same one I have. Oh,
No.
no.
Nope, it's a tag team. It actually because of our last episode, the watch along.
Oh no, we ain't talking about that bullshit. No. That
Yeah.
shit. Oh, there was what tag team was on there that you were gonna bring up?
Dean and Joe Malenko.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Those two, I don't know. After watching that on our last episode, I kind of went down a All Japan Pro Wrestling hole of theirs, watching their matches in All Japan. And that's a tag team that should have gotten a shot somewhere. And not just Starcade 90, but actually should have gotten their shot.
Holy shit! Sorry, I just got the list.
What?
Let's see. $11.
11 opening matches in WCW pay-per-views.
And all of them were title matches, except for 2.
I was going to say him and Max Payne at Beach Blast 93 wasn't. That was for the mask.
Oh, wow, that was not even listed. So there are more. This is just what they're showing on here. So he had a lot more.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, he's got a ton. Like, I mean, a lot. There's a lot. Not including dark matches.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah.
he
I'm
definitely
talking.
was a curtain jerk king.
Yeah, I was well, I don't really call it curtain jerk. I mean, that's what it's called, but that's the
You know what I mean?
tempo of the show. And he was perfect. Him and
Exactly.
DDP. Because
DDP was always
they did it like every month, 95 and 96 almost. Or it seemed like they did.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the
Joe.
Malenko brother.
Yeah.
The Malenko brothers. I don't know, because Dean, his brother didn't, but Dean definitely did. Dean got a lot of shine.
Well,
Like, I can't remember
if
a
you want to
Nitro
say.
or a Thunder that fool wasn't on.
Okay, but if you want to go down that road, we could say the same about Perry Saturn, too.
I guess you're right on that.
You know?
But as far as like getting a push, like further than just the mid card belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean as a
It was
tag
just hard
team.
in that era, though. Like, if you look at that era, it was.
I know you had the Road Warriors, you had Midnight Express, you had the Rockers, you had the Heart Foundation,
Exactly.
Demolition, and you
Had
know,
to really, really stand out.
yeah.
And technical
And
guys were not standing out.
no, they weren't. But I just
Like Brett, the Heart Foundation was like the closest we were getting to that shit.
pretty much
So the
them,
Malinkos were pretty much shit out of luck.
yeah. But to see the Malinkos, like seeing Malinkos versus the Rockers, or the Malinkos versus the Hearts in the WWF, dude, those would have been absolute masterpieces. Just like the Rockers versus the Brainbusters, or
Yeah.
the Bulldogs versus the
Dynamic
Hearts.
dudes versus the Rockers. We did get that. Never mind. That was a dog shit match. Sorry, I had to say it after what you said to open the podcast. I had to
The
revert
Dynamic Dudes versus the Rockers. We never got that, and thank God. Because at the end of the night, Jim Cornette would have looked at Shane Douglas and went, "Why the long face?" He would have looked at him and went, "I guess I'm going to go and suck Johnny's dick."
And then Vince is gonna shit on my chest.
No, Vince is going to lie to me, and I'm going to be like, "Well, I'm fucking out of here." But
Oh god. What about the Red Rooster? Terry Taylor.
yeah, but he fucked up his opportunity.
A lot of them did. we can't bring that subject up because you want to talk about fucking up opportunities. I mean, there's.
Well, no, I'm
Listen,
just. Don't get me wrong. Terry Taylor was a great worker, fucking phenomenal. Should have fucking been a lot further along than what he was, but when he got called up to the big time, no offense, Jim Crockett Promotions, he took the gimmick a little too seriously and cock-a-doodle-dooed instead of just having the red thing in his hair and being a cocky heel like he was.
then
That's his fuck up. It's not Vince's, not Bruce's, not Pat's. That's Terry Taylor's fuck up.
I just like my honorable mentions because now we're on the subject. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn it, my brain's going nuts on it.
Oh, I know.
I like Fit Finley.
Oh, absolutely. One of the most underrated. I can't even believe I didn't even think of him when I even brought
Bismarck
it up.
Jr.
Latin
Ciclope.
Lover. I don't know how Latin Lover didn't get a bigger run in America.
Ciclope.
Super Calo.
Fucking. Let's see. Kidman.
Kidman, yeah.
Damn, there's a
Couture.
lot of WCW talent that was just like workhorses upon like could have had their own promotion,
Yeah.
like straight up, and been fine.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Like it, the '90s, given the think about it this way, the '90s, given the
the
the knowledge
landscape.
that we have, the landscape and the knowledge we have now.
Uh-huh.
Just imagine it. The dream shows.
That I could fucking
Like
dream up, yeah.
it's just insane the amount of star power that was wasted that you could put on any indie show now and would draw thousands.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
it's insane. And I think about stuff like that all the time. It's like, what about John Smith from down the block that's just now cutting his teeth? What are you going to see in 10 years? What's he going to be? What about Jane Doe? What's she going to be doing?
Yep.
Like we've seen this happen. We're seeing it now. Guys and girls that we've worked with in our small ass little shit that we've done that are now doing big things.
Or have done bigger things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the one thing I want to say, leaving with this underrated stuff. If there's any indie talents that are watching, again, I'm just a fat guy sitting behind a computer talking to you through a microphone. Same with this gentleman sitting next to me. We've done our little stuff inside the squared circle. It may not mean much to y'all, may not mean anything. It means the world to us. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're overrated, underrated, main eventer, opening the show, or
Mhm.
even setting up the ring. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has
Everybody
a
has
job to do.
exactly. It's professional wrestling's not a single person. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin may have been drawing the house, but if Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't have The Rock and the rest, D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa and Farouk to stunner every night, you wouldn't have came.
Exactly.
If Triple H didn't have Vince McMahon to mess with Shawn Michaels in 2006 and John Cena messing with Edge, you wouldn't have came.
Exactly.
It's there's a I've seen it a lot in the little bit of time I worked in the wrestling business on the very, 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 very bottom outlaw mud show, barely out of outlaw mud show, indie shows. In my time, I have no problem admitting it at all. Uh, there's a lot of selfish people in the business, and unfortunately, that's why a lot of selfish people don't make it. Uh, Not saying anybody I know is a selfish person or anything like that. There's been some guys I've seen throughout the years I was doing that you know, working with a young guy's fresh student wouldn't sell a damn thing for him. That's being selfish. You're not only cutting yourself down, your worth down by not selling for somebody, and you're also you're not helping them. Not helping them make them look good. You're not making yourself look good, and you're making the product look absolutely garbage. And that, eh, I'm just gonna stop because then I'll end up going down another tangent, and we'll be here for another hour. So,
Hey,
but
all I want to say is just be grateful of the opportunity you have in the sun, whether it be in a VFW or in an arena. Just enjoy
absolutely
it. It
treasure
doesn't
it,
last long.
treasure it because you're living your dream. You're living what you wanted to do, to be honest, that's the reason why now, at 35, I can live a pretty decent, happy life. You know, life struggles. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm a parent. You know, life still happens, but you know, the ultimate goal in life was to be a professional wrestler, and I was. You know, so not for long,
I
but
I tried. I'll say that I tried,
yeah, and it
but
just
we
we
we have too much respect to see anybody give up their dream.
exactly, and this goes back to the whole thing we were talking about earlier. All these injuries and all these releases, you know, the injuries are the scariest thing in the professional wrestling game, plain and simple. Because the minute you walk out there, you're trusting people with your life, because anything could happen. Anything. Ask Dross. Ask D'Lo Brown. Ask Marty Jannetty and what, the guy he paralyzed. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. With the rocker dropper in 1990. Please just take care of each other. Only saying this because the last couple weeks it's been crazy. Indies, WWE, AEW, TNA. People just, it seems to be getting a little more reckless. And maybe we should pull the line in,
Just a little bit.
you know.
All right,
'Cause-
Jesse. Well, it's been a ride tonight.
Yep, we did an
Fun.
extra long episode for the fans. We had some rambling news.
Yep.
And then we got into our each top 5 underrated, and then brought up a bunch of honorable mentions.
Tons of 'em. Hey, everybody deserves it. So
Well, you know what, me?
end of the week.
Yep. And the only thing we got left to say is we say at the end of every show, from me and the motherfucking Messiah, Greg, hit it.
Do I got to?
Yes, you do.
You talking about this button right here?
Yes.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
See you next week.